What's up guys, my name is Brandon, hope you guys are well. For today's episode, I thought let's do something a bit different, okay? I'm going to do a transfer analysis of both the ins and the outs of our window so far, and like just give you guys my opinion, etc. on everything. And the thing is, I think both ins and outs could be a bit long for one video, so I'm thinking I'm going to break it up ins and outs kind of thing. So let's start off with the outs. And the first guy to actually leave Liverpool this window was Jordan Rossiter. He left, I think, for something like 250,000, something like that. He went to Rangers, and personally, I didn't ever think he was going to make it. I mean, like, when I watched him, he always looked very, like, clumsy. He always looked very, like, unnatural. And he was actually our under-21 captain for a long, long time. People, like, built him up to be, like, the next Gerrard, but you know what? No one can ever replace Stevie G, and he never lived up to expectations, and he left for Rangers. The next guy out was actually Jerome Sinclair. Jerome Sinclair for a while was actually on Liverpool's periphery, and he was actually looking for a move away, and he actually turned to AD Ward. You know that snake, the one who was in charge of Raheem Sterling. So pretty much, yeah, he changed agents to AD Ward, and AD Ward obviously didn't want to deal with Liverpool anymore. You know, he wanted to pull out all of his stars from the club, and that's exactly what he did. He was actually offered a new contract. He actually rejected that. I think this transfer wasn't as clear-cut as Raheem Sterling's one, where like he's looking for trophies. I think it was more of him trying to get a break, you know, playing regular football, and that was not going to come at Liverpool, wasn't going to come under Jurgen Klopp, you know, so I didn't think he was going to get a chance, so he moved. He went to Watford in a £4 million deal or something like that, and I think it's a good move for him. He has a lot of talent, and you saw when he played under Brendan at the back end of the 14-15 season, I think it was. He had quite a bit of quality, you know what I'm saying? Like he had some sort of talent there, and I think he had to move away to actually find that. The next guy out was, I think, João Teixeira. Like, the thing is, João Teixeira as well, he's a very likable character. He has something there. He's just not up to Liverpool standard, and I just didn't think he was ever going to make it as well. You could just see he was missing something. He just didn't have that next level to step up to Liverpool standard. I mean, I think Klopp did offer him a contract extension, but he wasn't going to play. He was going to be like another squad player, play in the cup game, something like that. And I don't think he was willing to accept that. Sergi Canos is the next man to leave. He left for Norwich. Apparently, we offered him a contract extension, and he actually turned it down. Jurgen Klopp has said that if any youngster does choose money over playing for Liverpool, then they will not be playing in a red shirt. That's exactly what happened to Sergi Canos, eh? He actually got sold to Norwich for £2.5 million, rising to £4 million. We inserted a buyback clause and a hefty sell-on percentage, which actually covers Liverpool on all bases. If Sergi Canos does prove his worth, Liverpool can buy him back. Then also, we are covered on the sell-on percentage. If Liverpool don't feel that he's the right man that we need, Liverpool are covered as well, and Liverpool will receive a hefty percentage of the next sale. And I think that's very good business, okay? Especially at this time, Liverpool do not need him in the squad. He wasn't going to play. He'd probably play for the under-21s or the under-23s now this season, and he wasn't really going to get much of a first-team chance. Now at Norwich, in the Championship, he's going to play every week, you know, show his talent, develop like he did last season, and then if he does prove his worth, Liverpool can buy him back. I think that's great bit of business, personally. Liverpool have done extremely well in this window, and that also relates to the next transfer. Jordan Ibe has left for Bournemouth, £15 million, and we have inserted a buyback clause and a hefty sell-on percentage as well, and that for me is unreal business. Jordan Ibe, okay, last season he didn't prove his worth and he actually regressed, and it resulted in him playing for the under-21s last season at the back end, and I think it was probably the right time to move him on, if I'm honest. I mean, with Liverpool's attacking options at the moment, I don't see how he's going to fit into the side. Like, let's be real here, I don't see how he's going to fit into the side. I just feel as if he doesn't produce the goods often enough. At the age of 20, he's still very, very young, very tender age. You know, a lot of development in him. And I think going to Bournemouth now, he'll play week in, week out in the Premier League. And that's where he can prove his worth, you know. Like, gain that experience, gain that development, you know. And he has that potential. And if he does fulfill his potential, Liverpool have that buyback clause in place. Liverpool can buy him back. 15 million now to spend in this window, improving our squad right now. Then also we have that buyback option. Let's say in 2 years, 3 years time, if he does perform, is doing well at Bournemouth, Liverpool can buy him back. And if Liverpool don't feel like they want him back, like with the Sergi Canos deal, we have that sell-on percentage. Liverpool are going to gain a very high percentage of that next transfer fee, and that's what I think is the best part about it. And good luck to him, really good luck to you, Jordan, and hopefully we can see you back in the red shirt very, very soon. Joe Allen.
It's been a long day.
I don't even want to talk about this one. This one like just makes me so upset. The Welsh Perlo, the Welsh Chavy, and the myth, the legend of Joe Allen has left the club, unfortunately. £13 million, gone to Stoke City. I heard the deal is £11 million plus £2 million in add-ons. And I think also it's quite a good deal. 1 year left in his Liverpool contract. And that's why I think Jurgen Klopp has tried to recoup as much money as possible. Recoup the money and try and invest it in the squad for this season alone. You know, into the starters, the guaranteed starters for the season. Who's going to improve our squad? Who's going to improve our first team? You know, and that's what he has done. I think Joe Allen, his form came too late, if I'm really honest. I think the first 2 or 3 years, he was actually quite poor. Didn't really live up to that expectation of Brendan Rodgers saying that he's worth every single penny of that 16 million. You know, and he came in as a young boy from Swansea. He came in, I think, at 22 years old, something like that, with a lot to prove. He was a very good passer. That's what his main attribute was, passing. And I don't think he ever stamped his control over the game in the first 2 or 3 seasons. Only the back end of last season did he really stamp his authority, really show his worth. But I think by that stage it came a bit too late. And at about 25 or 26 years old, he needs to be starting games consistently in the Premier League, not playing that backup role. And I think it was the right move for him as well. Stoke City are a great team, a very upcoming team as well. Play actually some good football, play very, very good football, attacking football. And I think it's a good move for him. Then for the departure of Martin Skrtel to Fenerbahce for £6 million. And I think it's a great bit of business as well. Like Martin Skrtel, for me, he was actually quite poor the last 2 or 3 seasons. And really, he didn't really live up to that expectation, you know, that level that was required. I mean, back in 13-14, he had an unbelievable season. And then all of a sudden, he crashed again, you know. And he actually let Liverpool down. And too many times, he's let Liverpool down defensively. You know what? And he's been a great servant, stuck by us through the bad times, stuck by us through the very, very harsh times. And for that, we'll forever be grateful. I think it was the right time to leave. Leave while you still have some sort of like pride, some sort of like reputation at the club, you know. And you were a warrior, you really were a great, great servant. But I think it was the right time to leave personally. £6 million for someone who's like 30 years old. I think it's a great bit of business as well. And you know what? I think Liverpool have done extremely, extremely well in this deal as well. Last but not least, Kolo Toure. Kolo Toure is left on a free. Oh, it kills me. It actually kills me. He left to Celtic, and a nice reunion with Brendan, but I'm not. I really wanted him to stay at the club. I really, really did. I mean, I remember saying in my transfer news video about who we should keep and sell. I remember saying that if he can put in a performance like he did in that final versus Sevilla, then I think it's worth signing him to a new contract. Great experience, great character around the dressing room. Like, it's just a player I wanted to keep at Liverpool. I thought was very vital. Like, it kills me, it pains me to say that he's left. But, I mean, his 4 years at the club was an absolute treat. He actually left a legend. And it's actually a true statement to Kolo Toure. How he came in as someone who wasn't wanted, who the fans were like, nah, I don't want to sign, to an absolute legend of the club. And it's a true statement to his hard work, his dedication to the badge, his love for Liverpool, and he's just a great human being. He really is. And it is very, very sad to see him go. The next outgoing hasn't gone yet, but he is moving to Bournemouth. That's Brad Smith. Brad Smith as well, I think it's the right move. Personally, I never really saw that quality. He was very good attacking, very good going forward, but defensively he was so vulnerable. Way worse than Moreno. I don't know how all this hype came about that he's better than Moreno, how he should be starting ahead of Moreno. Nah. He was very poor defensively. Today, the Bournemouth Daily Star or something like that are claiming that the fee is more towards 3 million, not actually that 6 million reported fee. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's very good business as well. Liverpool have again inserted a buyback clause, again inserted a sell-on percentage. Brad Smith, for me, he was just not good enough right now. And I say right now because he has potential. He's still very young, 22 years old, and he can develop. Playing regular first team footy at Bournemouth in the Premier League week in, week out is just what he needs to develop. And I think it's the right move as well. If he does perform well, Liverpool can buy him back, like I've said before. And for me, that's great business. Overall, I think we've done extremely well. We've recouped so far something like £48.5 million, and there's still a lot more players to be sold. Benteke, there's talk of Benteke leaving to Crystal Palace again now for £30 million. That will bring it up now to £78.5 million. Then there's also Luis Alberto. He should go for roughly £7 million as well. Then also there's Andre Wisdom. I don't know how much we'll get for him. Maybe like 2 million, something like that. He's also leaving. Then there's Mario Balotelli. He should be leaving roughly for like £8 million, somewhere around about there. You know, so Liverpool are going to recoup more than £100 million in this window. And personally, I think we have done extremely well. Towards the back end of last season, people were talking about like Jurgen Klopp being ruthless in this window, selling all the players he doesn't want, and my word, have we seen his ruthlessness. Liverpool so far have sold 9 players, and that's going to rise to about 12 or 13 players in this window. That's very ruthless. And I'm glad we have that kind of ruthlessness. We can't have deadwood in the squad right now. We need to improve the squad. Our first team have a tight-knit group of players, and I think that's what he's been doing. And I think it's been good business. Really well done, Jurgen Klopp. Well done, Ian Air. For once, we've done extremely well. With that, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys again soon for another video. For part 2, actually. Part 2 will be on Friday. Hope you guys enjoy the video. See you on Friday for part 2. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.